So, y'all coming back from your break, and we're gonna kick off the new year. We'll kick off the new year by setting some goals, okay? It's always good to kick off the new year by setting some goals. I'm not really gonna call them New Year's resolutions, although that's kind of sort of what they are. But we're gonna go deeper than that. We're gonna set some actual goals, all right? So, let's kind of jump into it. So right now, let's talk about academic growth, academic goals. So what I want you to do is just write down one good goal, academic goal for yourself for the rest of this school year, okay? One good academic goal for yourself. This is not the same. Okay, so I have to do it. Appreciate it. It's on smart. Okay. Just give me one good goal that you have for yourself academically for this school year. Okay? You don't have a whole lot of time. What are my seniors? Y'all have any seniors in here? You got seniors? Y'all got about, what, 4 or 5 months left in your high school career, so that's not a whole lot of time left. Everybody else got until June. Yeah, we got about 6 months left. All right? Okay, so, Nydia, what did you set for your academic goal? What you got? Yeah, just read me what you put down for your academic goal.
Some things that I would like to implement in school is not only my grades but also my attendance. My goals for the next month and year actually is to be an honor roll student with perfect attendance.
Okay, great. Honor roll student with perfect attendance. Amari points.
I at least try to put my grade up to like 1. Like, say for example, like a B to an A, or like a C to a B.
Okay.
And get my Spanish grade up.
Okay.
My goodness.
Because I was worried a little bit because you said by 1. I was thinking like from a 59 to a 60, something like that. No, that's not what you were talking about.
Nah.
Okay, I was just making sure. All right, one last one. Trent, what you got?
Try to get all my service hours in.
Try to get all your service hours in. That's important. You need that. For how many you need for graduation? 24. All right. In this program, you should get way more than 24 because there's so many opportunities for y'all to do color guard, community service projects, all kinds of stuff. So there's no reason not to get your community service hours. Okay. All right. We're gonna keep it moving. Hit the submit button. Hit the submit button on this one. All right, so that you make sure you get credit for this. Okay. All right. Did anybody, real quick, did anybody have a really good one that they just dying to share? That they're academic? All right, Brooke, what you got?
I said I want to get an 80 in quantitative modeling because like my grade has been studied at a 79 in class since like the first quarter.
Oh, okay. So you like Amari. You wanted to get one more point
So like
from a 79 to an 80. Okay, I see. All right, that's good. That's good. You did a really good job with that. For that goal, with that goal, and I'll tell you why in a second. Okay, all right, here we go. Learning objectives. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to explain the value of setting ambitious goals. Who can tell me what that word means? Ambitious. Ambitious. Okay, Amari.
Like big goals that you really like. What's the word? Excited for.
Okay, Bryce, you got something else?
Yeah, it's like goals that you're determined to get to, and achieve.
Okay, that's good. Amy, what you got?
Very challenging goals.
Very challenging goals. Okay, goals. So everybody heard the expression like shoot for the stars?
Yeah.
Right? Just shoot high, right? Aim your goals high so that you can reach them. All right, and give you something to reach to. So you'll be able to apply SMART goals. Who has heard of SMART goals? Like an acronym, SMART. Okay, I got a handful of y'all that's actually heard about about that. That's good. That's good. So you are going to be able to create SMART goals, not to be confused with dumb goals. SMART goals by the end of this lesson to kind of set yourself up for success. All right? Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So before we get started, I'm going to ask you this question right here. Do you think you challenge yourself? And I want you to answer as honestly as you can in Nearpod. Which option speaks to you? Do you think you challenge yourself? You're the person that always pushes yourself to be a better person every day? Do you usually push yourself? Do you sometimes challenge yourself? Or maybe you don't really push yourself at all. Okay? All right. So, everybody who, you should be done by now, everybody who picked Alpha, who picked A, I always push myself to be better every day. Raise your hand. Okay. I got 1, 2, 3. Okay. Good, good. I usually push myself. Bravo, B. Okay. Another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7.5. Okay. All right, good. C, Charlie, I sometimes challenge myself, but sometimes I don't. Okay, that's what the majority of people. Did you raise your hand twice? No. Okay, I was just checking. All right, good, good. Now, and that's what usually happens. Most people are Charlies. Most people are C's. I sometimes challenge myself, but I don't. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Do I have any deltas? I don't push myself often. Have any deltas? I got 1 delta? Okay. I got any echoes? I rarely step beyond my comfort zone. Great. I'm glad we don't have any echoes. Okay? Because this is the opposite of how you grow as a person. The only way you grow as a person to make yourself better, to create a better version of yourself each and every day, is to step outside that comfort zone. Like inside that comfort zone, like okay, yeah, I know how to do this, I know how to do that, I know how to do this. But have you ever been a flight commander? Have you ever been on the color guard team? Have you ever been on the Raider team? Those are all things that might be outside your comfort zone. But again, in order to expand that comfort zone, you got to step outside of it, right? You got to step outside of it every now and then. Challenge yourself, right? That's the only way that you become a bigger and better version of yourself, right? Is to challenge yourself. So I'm glad we don't really have people on E, okay? All right, outstanding, outstanding. Let's keep it moving. So here's what I want you to do. Take 30 seconds. Take 30 seconds by your elbow, buddy, and answer these 2 questions right here. But tell you what, just answer that first question. Why do people make New Year's resolutions? So get an elbow, buddy. Talk to your person sitting next to you. Why do you think people make New Year's resolutions?
Or they might set a goal
Okay, good. I heard some good interactions. All right, Malachi. Give me one of those things that you just talked about in terms of why people make New Year's resolutions.
Have something to
Has something to shoot for, has something to go for during the year. Okay, Leslie, what you got?
Something productive, like having a goal to do something.
Having a goal to do something. All right. What you got, Jamil?
I said they
their resolutions, so they can set goals for themselves, so they can get better mentally and physically.
So they can get better mentally and physically. I like that. I like that. Audrey, what you got?
People make New Year's resolutions so that they could better themselves every year and try to, grow.
Okay, so that they can better themselves every year and try to grow. That's awesome. Those are the reasons why people make New Year's resolutions, because they're trying to get outside their comfort zone. They're trying to better themselves. Here's the magical question. The magical question is number 2. Why do they fail often? Why do they fail often? Brooke, what you got? Why do they fail?
I feel like they fail because I feel like New Year's resolutions aren't something that you should do realistically, because like, for example, someone will be like, oh, I want to work out more this year. Like, first day you may work out, and then it's like, it's not realistic for you. Like, you have to like do things, you have to do specific things. You can't just like, you're not a person that goes out and plays outside and you're gonna put that on your New Year's resolution and you're not gonna be able to do it. So people make New Year's resolutions that aren't realistic regarding them and stuff they do.
You gave some really good key words there. One of those key words is specific. They weren't specific enough. I like it. Emmett, what you got?
They don't have enough dedication to achieve the goal.
They don't have enough dedication. Their heart was into it at first, but they kind of fizzled out. Amari, what you got?
Man, sometimes stuff just be happening. Tell you, stuff happens.
Okay.
Or distractions. That's a big one.
Distractions. Okay. All right. I like it. Joshua, you have one.
It's basically what we're saying, maybe like a commitment. Commitment also a good one.
Okay. Commitment or lack thereof. Addie?
They don't step out of their comfort zone.
They don't step out of their comfort zone. All right. Last one, Bryce.
It's like, just like what Amari was saying, like some people, like life can change, like how they like react to certain things. So it's like sometimes you can't stop it.
Right.
Because you have like an emergency or something like that.
Okay. So you might have an emergency and everything just kind of shuts down. Right. Helen, you have one.
When they push themselves to the higher when they know they're not at that point, don't just go right away to the top. You have to start from the bottom.
Oh, okay. I like that. You got to work your way up to it. So let's say I have a goal of, you know what? I want to be able to do 50 push-ups all at once. But right now, I can only do 10. I can't say, hey, well, by next week, I'm going to be able to do 50. That's unrealistic. Somebody, I think Brooke had mentioned unrealistic. And so, yeah, you gotta gradually work your way up to your goals. Okay? All right, those are all awesome answers. Now, hopefully, by the end of this lesson, you all will be able to, establish goals to the point where they're gonna be very detailed such that you will not fail, okay? You will not fail. So that's the whole point. All right, SMART goals. So we're gonna watch this short video. It's only about 4 minutes long, all right? Only about 4 minutes long. But I'm gonna pause it here and there just to kind of break down a couple of things, okay? All right, so pay attention, look up, stop what you're doing, and look up at screen.
Thanks for stopping by. This is 2 Minute Classroom, and today we're talking about setting goals using the SMART method. Goal setting is a great activity anytime, but is especially popular around New Year's, at the start of the school year, and the beginning of sports season. I would love to hear some of your goals in the comments, and I'll put some of mine in the description below. SMART is an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. We'll go through each of these using the example goal of doing well on your next exam, a common goal for students. The first step is to make the goal specific. Doing well on your next exam is not specific. Try to answer the questions of what, when, and why. Let's specify your what as scoring at least 90% on your next science exam. For the when, it'll be whenever the exam is. Let's say it's in 4 weeks. The why is very important, as this is your motivation for the goal and something you can look back on if you get discouraged. It could be to improve your grade in the course, to score higher than a friend, or because you want to get to a great university. Whatever will motivate you to keep working on the goal.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right there, just for a second. So, what is one of the most common New Year's resolutions? What is the one of the most common?
Lose weight.
Lose weight. What else?
Do better in school.
Do better in school. Okay. Emmett?
Make better financial choices.
Better financial choices. Let's go back to lose weight. How might one lose weight?
Changing their diet, going to the gym.
Yeah, that part. All right. So that's one of the most common ones. Going to the gym, working out more, changing my diet. So let's say I said, you know what? I'm gonna make a New Year's resolution to work out more. Is that a good goal? Yes, it's an okay goal. What's wrong with it? There's no substance to it, right? There's no details behind it. You're setting yourself up to fail already because you're like, I'm just gonna work out more. Okay, so what does that look like? Are you working out twice a week, 5 times a day, twice a year? Are you gonna do push-ups? You gonna do sit-ups? You gonna run a mile every other day? What are you gonna do? You gotta be specific about your goals, right? You gotta know the what. You gotta know the when. You gotta know the why, right? So when you set your goals for yourself, be specific, okay? All right, very good.
So now we have a much more specific goal. Score at least 90% on the next science exam 4 weeks from now to help you get into a great university.
Very specific.
This goal is looking great, but we're not done yet. The next step is to make sure the goal is measurable. That means there are some metrics attached to the goal to let you know if you reach your goal or not. Looking back at our goal, we see that it is to score at least 90%. This is very measurable, and once you've taken the test and received a score, you will know whether or not you hit the goal. This is why doing well in your next exam is a poor goal. It is not measurable, and there is no clear way to define success or failure.
All right, so real quick, measurable. That usually means numbers. Usually, right? You can measure numbers. I'm gonna work out 3 times a week. I'm gonna run a mile. When I go running, I'm gonna run a mile. When I run a mile, my goal is to get down. Right now, I'm running a mile at 6 minutes. I want to get that down to 5.5 minutes, right? So numbers usually check this box, okay? Because again, you can't just say, I'm gonna work out more. I was like, okay, well, so what does that mean? Put numbers to that. Put numbers to that, all right? So it's gotta be measurable.
The next step is to check whether the goal is achievable or not. In this step, you want to break the goal down and answer the question of how you will achieve this goal. What do you need to do in the next 4 weeks to get at least 90% on the exam? Some examples may include taking notes in class, spending 30 minutes 3 nights per week studying for the exam, and partnering with a friend a week before the exam to review notes and go through a study guide. The point is, you need a plan. Break the goal down into smaller goals that all feed up to the main goal. This will give you a clear path to success.
Okay, so let's break that down a little bit. Damar, what do you want to do, like, say, 20 years from now? Where do you see, as far as a career, 20 years from now?
I want to be in the military, hopefully Chief Master Sergeant by then.
Okay.
20 years, I'll have been retired, so I'll be getting the passive income.
Okay, Chief Master Sergeant. He wants to be retired. Chief Master Sergeant. Okay. Chapo, what about you?
For 20 years from now.
Yeah, as far as a career,
That's not so playing a sport. Most likely soccer.
okay, so you're on the World Cup team.
Exactly.
Playing on the biggest stage of the world on the soccer in the U.S. Is it U.S.? No, you probably not gonna play for the U.S.
I don't want to play for this.
You're not gonna play for
Maybe
the
not. Probably France.
France. Okay, you're gonna play for France on the national France team. Okay. All right. Outstanding. One more. Jade. 20 years from now, where do you see yourself? Pediatrician. That sounds like a doctor to me. Okay, so I got doctor, I got Chief Master Sergeant, I got the world-class soccer player. Here's the deal. You will not achieve your goal tomorrow, or next week, or next month, or next year, or even a few years from now. You're not gonna be a doctor, you're not gonna be a chief master sergeant retired, and you're not gonna be a world-class soccer player. Has anybody heard the expression of, how do you eat an elephant?
No.
How do you,
I have.
how do you eat an elephant? You already heard this. All right, so, DeMar, please tell the rest of your classmates, how do you eat an elephant?
I could be wrong, but isn't it you cut it into pieces? So like you break it down so it can be easier for you to complete.
Bite by bite, bit by bit. You can't just like, I'm just gonna gobble this big old elephant right now, all in the next 5 minutes. Nope. Gotta cut it up to little pieces. Nah, who goes around eating elephants? I'm just saying. But it's just an expression, right? It's a big, huge thing, but you can do it if you break it down into smaller things. Your goals of being a pediatrician or chief master sergeant or a world-class soccer player is no different than eating that elephant. Break those bigger goals into smaller goals, and you can achieve them easily, right? And that's with anything. That's with anything. So break it down into smaller, achievable goals, right? So, in soccer, he's been on the soccer team already. So he's on his way, he's taking baby steps already. Maybe he's gonna get a scholarship, a soccer scholarship somewhere to a college. Maybe he might get discovered. And then so on and so forth, right? I'm sure she's gonna go to college, Jay's gonna go to college to, go down the track of being a pediatrician, right? Gotta go to medical school at some point, okay? And then, after a residency somewhere, then yeah, she can check that box of being a pediatrician, okay? Chief Master Sergeant, he's well on his way. He just, even by being in this program right now, he's taking baby steps to reach his goal, okay? All right, here we go.
The fourth step is to ensure the goal is relevant. And this step is more of a gut check to see if it fits well with your life right now. Ask yourself the following questions. Does this goal align with my long-term objectives? Does it keep me on track with other goals in my life? Will focusing on this goal pull me away from other more important goals? After thinking through this step, you should feel confident your goal is relevant and even more motivated to achieve it. Scoring at least 90% on your next science exam is relevant because it will give you confidence in school and feed into larger goals around future education and career. The last step is to make the goal time-bound. A time-bound deadline acts as a target and helps you work backwards and set smaller steps to get there. If you set a fitness goal to do 100 consecutive push-ups, but don't set a deadline to reach that goal, then it probably won't happen. Hitting a certain score on an exam is time-bound by default because there is a specific date for the exam, which allows us to break the goal into smaller steps leading up to the exam.
Okay, you stop it right there. And that's the last one of the 5, smart, on T, okay? So, raise your hand if this has ever happened to you. Raise your hand if this has ever happened to you. So, one of your teachers assigns homework to the class. And he or she says, hey, I need you to go to chapter, for homework tonight, go to chapter 3, lesson 2, and I need you to do the first 10 questions. Oh, by the way, you can turn them in somewhere between now and 25 years from now. Raise your hand, is that anybody happen? No? Or maybe now until like forever. Sometime between today and forever. Is it? Nobody? Brooke? No Chapo?
No.
Nothing?
I wish.
No? Anthony? No. That has never happened to anybody. It was a due date. She or he might say, yep, it's due on Wednesday at 11:59. Period. You know why? Because if he or she said, oh, you can turn it in at any time you want, sometime in the future, how many people think you would turn it in?
Zero.
Probably 0, right? 0. Your goals are the same thing. Your goals are the same thing. If you don't hold yourself accountable, right, by giving yourself a due date, sometimes you gotta give yourself a due date. It's like, oh, I gotta get this done. Let me give myself a due date. Don't rely on other people, right? Especially when you're talking about your goals for your life. Your life. You're talking about goals for your life. You need to set your own goals and deadlines. You need to put some dates on your calendar so that you can make sure that you reach your goals. Okay? So make sure. So for example, who's on, anybody on command staff, right? So those of you who might be on command staff, maybe some tasks may or may not have gotten done, right? Some things that should have been done didn't get done. Why? Well, chances are you could probably point back to the fact that either somebody didn't give you a due date or you didn't give yourself a due date. And you still what? You heard the expression of just kicking that can down the road, like, I'll get to it tomorrow. I'll get to it next week. You know what? No, next week I'm busy. I'll get to it like next month. And you just steady kicking that can down the road. So, it's gotta be time bound. It's gotta have some sort of due date in order for it to happen.
And here's a bonus tip. If you truly want to reach your goals,
This
then
part.
you have to write them down and look at them often. I recommend keeping a daily or weekly planner to track your progress. I put some excellent planner recommendations in the description that will help you make your goals a reality. Remember to share your goals in the comments. I'll read and respond to as many.
Okay, so, you should be able to answer this question. What's the S? What's the M? What's the A? What's the R? And what is that T? So answer that in your pod.
What if you can't spell some of the words?
If you can't spell some of the words, I'm sure you'll get close enough where I can tell what you're talking about. So I'll give you a minute or so to work that out. It's probably faster to use a text box as opposed to drawing. Probably faster to use a text box as opposed to trying to draw the answer. Okay, I think I see some people wrapping up. Some of you fast typers. Has anybody taken a typing test before, like a speed test? Yeah.
Yeah, type test before?
A speed test. Everybody?
You gonna work that dude.
We did that a few years when we were virtual. When we were trying to thinking of stuff to do. When we were virtual, in all our class, during COVID, we did a speed test. I think there was a few students that did like 60, 70 words a minute, something like that.
I used to be me. All the time.
All right, Brooke. Yes, you did. Abby. What's the S? Specific. The S is specific. Okay? Ariana. What's the M?
Measurable.
Measurable. Christian. What is that? A. Achievable. Now, on some sites, you might see attainable. They are cousins. Attainable, achievable, just about the same thing. Okay? Danielle, what's that R? Relevant. Relevant. And Edwin, what's the T stand for? Time bound. You gotta have that due date. Gotta have that due date. Okay? It's gotta be some date out there. Kind of hold you accountable. Okay? All right, everybody done? Yes, yes, yes. All right, hit the submit button on this chart right here. We got a couple more charts and then we'll be all done. Yes, ma'am.
Did you say it's like, does it like count for babies too? Like, the due dates?
Does that count for babies when you set a due date?
You know, it's like, oh, the baby's due in like 5 minutes.
Well, I mean, in general, it takes about 9 months for a baby to be born. Now, you know, it's not gonna be exactly 9 months, but it's gonna be, that's a rough guesstimate. So it's gonna be some, maybe 8.5 weeks, maybe 9.5 weeks, so it just depends. Okay. All right, so let's keep moving. Everybody hit the submit button on that?
Yeah.
Okay, now, you all should have a really good idea. You know what? Hold on. Before you do anything, before you answer this question, let me show you something. Let me show you an example of a good. Now, it's probably a little fuzzy, but I'll read a little bit to you. So, when we first started the lesson, some of you all, when you did your academic goal, right? Some of you all might have said, yeah, I want a higher GPA, right? Or I want better grades. That's cool and all, but I didn't hear specifics. I didn't hear due dates. I didn't hear anything that was measurable. So here's some simple goals, right? Simple goal is I want to eliminate sugary drinks from my diet. A good goal, but it's not great. So a better goal might be I will gradually reduce my sugary drink consumption every week. That's a number. It's measurable. Yeah. Every week in order to eliminate my consumption, right? Very specific. Very specific. All right, here's another one. I want to be at my ideal weight. That's a simple goal. A good goal, but what does that really mean? Here's a better way. I will achieve my ideal weight by December 31st, 2013. What'd that person do? They did what? It's time bound, right? It's time bound. Gave themselves a due date. By the 31st of December, they want to be at their ideal weight. Whatever, it might be 150 pounds, it might be 200 pounds, whatever. Okay? Somebody had a question? No, stretching? Okay. All right, so again, use these as an example. Now I want you to go back and answer this question. Give me one good, smart goal for you in this program, in Air Force Junior ROTC. And then I want you to come up with 1 or 2 personal goals. They need to be smart. So they need to be specific. They need to be measurable. They need to be attainable, achievable. They need to be relevant. And they certainly need to be time bound. They need to have some sort of date, due date, something. Okay? So, I'm gonna give you a few minutes to work that out. Give you a couple minutes to work that out. And then after that, we got there's about 1 more slide and then we'll be all done. Make sure there's smart goals. I don't see any dumb goals. No dumb goals. I want them to all be smart. necessarily have to be long. If you saw the examples, right? They don't necessarily have to be long, but they should be specific, measurable, time bound, and attainable. You know, make sure they're reasonable goals. Don't say, I want to be the president of the United States by a year from now. Like, make sure they're reasonable, attainable goals. All right, so by now, somebody should have come up with a good Air Force Junior ROTC goal for themselves. Somebody give me one. Anybody. Somebody. Anybody. Anthony, what you got?
I want to do at least one activity before the next commander's call.
I want to do at least one activity before the next commander's call. Okay, now when you say activity, you talking about like a color guard?
Like
or
color guard, drill team, radar team.
drill team, radar team. Okay, all right, that's pretty good. DeMar, you have one?
Yeah, it's kind of the same with his, but I really just want to commit more to this program before I graduate. Let that be helping some of the staff or maybe even the top 5. If y'all need assistance, I'll always be there. So.
Okay, all right. Chapo, you got one?
I said I want to be able to improve my mile time record coming out of the spring.
Okay.
And be able to run the mile faster.
All right, you want to be able to run the mile faster. I like that. Brooke, what you got?
I said I'm gonna volunteer for my activities and like, do y'all do color guard or basketball?
We're gonna start, the plan is we're gonna start next week.
Okay, well then I said I wanna do that for the upcoming basketball game, and I wanna have gain at least 15 community service hours on March.
Very, very good. Specific, measurable, and there's a due date. Excellent. All right, so here's what I want you to do now. With your personal goal, if it's not too personal, I want you to maybe share it with your elbow buddy, just for like 30 seconds. Just kind of exchange. If it's not too personal. Okay, all right, very good. All right, let me hear a few, just a couple few. All right, Jamil, what you got?
I said I wanna be a better boxer by the age of 20.
A better boxer by the age of 20. Who's your favorite boxer?
Mike Tyson.
Get out of here.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what?
Get out of here.
Okay. I can't argue so much with that. Jalen, what you got? All right, so I know what you're talking about, but I don't know if everybody in here knows what you're talking about right now.
Oh, well. I do
It's on your shirt.
Well, I'm part of the Wise wrestling team, and basically an exhibition match is I'm going against another school, wrestling another player, and what I mean by pin is by having them on their back, and holding them down for what was it? I think
6 seconds.
6 seconds. And the first half is like the first quarter, and football terms, but much shorter. It's 2 minutes.
Okay, all right, great, good personal goal. Hurry up, what you got?
I want to drink, set around the 15-year-old to drink of water, like water. You know, like, gives a big certain amount of water each day.
Oh, a certain amount of water, the recommended amount of water. What is that? Do you know what that is?
64 ounces to 80 ounces.
I'll translate that.
All right. So that's like eight cups of water, right? I think that's like the general goal. They say like you're supposed to drink 8 cups of water a day. Is what they say. Amari, what you got?
Try to enter into an internship for real estate and everything. So it's not summertime because I have plans to run.
Okay. So you want to do an internship in real estate?
Yeah.
By this summer.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Outstanding. All right. Brooke, what you got?
I said I want to grow closer to God by reading the Bible every day and like praying more.
Okay. All right. Reading the Bible every day and praying more. Outstanding personal goal. Outstanding personal goal. All right. Any more? Any more real quick that you wanted to share? All right.
I got another one.
You got one more?
Yeah.
Okay. What you got?
Personal goal. I want to slam somebody in wrestling. Like picking them up and just slam them on the floor.
All right.
That's like my highlight.
I'm not sure if the wrestling team is allowed to is allowed to wrestle people from Barack Obama. Or not. I'm not sure. But I'll have to let you know. I'll let you know. All right, here we go. Everybody hit the submit button on that already? Yes, hit the submit button. Oh, wait. Get out your cell phone. Get your cell phones out right now. Get your cell phones out. Get your cell phones out right now. So you're gonna hear me say that too often. I want you to take a picture of your goals. Take a picture of your goals. Take a picture of your goals. Take a nice good picture of your goals. Save them and press the little heart or whatever you got on your phone. Save it as a favorite. I want you to be able to have easy access to it, to your goals. All right. So that way, I want you to every now and then be able to just be flipping through your favorites and be like, oh, that's right. I'm supposed to be working on this. This is one of my goals that I did in Capt Meggett's class. All right. So save it as one of your favorites. Okay? And that way you can easily access it so that you can hold yourself accountable to reaching your own goals. Okay? All right, great. Everybody hit the submit button. Hit the submit button. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Yeah, but this is like before. So
all right, here we go. So, okay, so real quick, give me like one thing that you learned, or like one quick thing that you learned today in this lesson. Just Emmett.
I learned how to write smart goals.
You learned how to write smart goals. All right.
I learned how to be realistic with things I want to accomplish.
Realistic, right? You want to be realistic with your goals. Addie. Stepping outside of your comfort zone, because that's the only way you're going to grow as a person. Okay? Helen? Start from small and like gradually work your way up to your bigger goals. You're not going to be, the world-class soccer player by next week, but you can do it.
I wish.
You can do it. All right, Jalen, what you got?
Start setting time limits for my goals.
Yeah, start setting time limits, right? Because otherwise, they're not going to get done, people. They're not going to get done. You're like, I'm going to do it. I got this great goal, but turn your homework in between now and forever. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Set yourself a time limit. Give yourself a due date, okay? Bree, you have one? Okay, what you got? Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself. Okay? Again, that's the only way that you grow as a person and, so that you can reach your goals. Okay, here we go. This is the get off the stage slide right here, as we like to call it. How do you feel about setting challenging goals for yourself? So answer that. Should take you about 5 seconds. Do you feel prepared now? Do you need more practice now? Or are you confused? All right, so you should be done with this. So where are my Charlie? Where are my C's? You answer C, I feel prepared. Oh, I like that. I like that. I see. Okay, Charlie's. I see Charlie's. All right, I see you. Okay, where my Bravos? Where my B? B, I need more practice. Yeah, it's not wrong with that. You need more practice. Okay, I got a few. All right, I'm confused. Do I have any? I'm confused. Because if I do, are you confused, Ariana? What are you confused about?
I don't know, it's not specific.
Oh, oh, that's an easy fix. That's an easy fix. We can fix that. We can work that. Matter of fact, spell check can help you out. All right, great. So I don't have any legitimate. I'm confused. That means I think I did my job here. Which thing? Sort of, Abby? Okay. All right. And all right. Did you hit the submit button on this one? Yes. Okay. Outstanding. And thank you very much. That's it. Great job. All right. So we still got time. Still got time to do a little fun something. The PT in the back home.